All right, and our next topic. You know what? This will become a recurring segment.
A write-in.
It was the middle of the podcast write-in, so if you've been watching this whole time or listening, we appreciate it. Now I can reveal. A new segment that I'm throwing in there is Jim's Terrible Decisions.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Maybe there's going to be a better title came up. Maybe it's just the blub blub moment. I don't know. But either way, before we get started on the podcast, Jim and I, we meet up. Sometimes we record reviews, whatever the case is. But I noticed today on Twitter that Jim posted a picture of him playing Hotel Mario on the CDI.
Yep.
And I decide, okay, whatever, like he got that, no big deal. I know nothing about prices for CDI games. We just know the CDI is a terrible console that he got dirt cheap from a thrift store and now is trying to make the most out of it by buying better known games for it. That's nothing new for Jim. He does it for TurboGrafx. Jim, we know, is a collector, and he's more than anything. This is a positive I'll throw for Jim. He's brand loyal. Once he gets with something, he'll fight for it till the end. Whether it's good, bad, fucks him in the ass, it doesn't matter.
I don't remember fighting for the CDI yet. Keyword yet.
You're about to. So,
can I turn the CDI guy in Wrestling with Gaming who loved the CDI? I don't know. Things happen.
Listen, Jim. Let's just stay on topic here.
Okay.
So, I'm busting his balls. We're doing some recording for Resident Evil 4 review. And I just happened to mention, so like, Jim, what did you pay for Hotel Mario CDI? And for those of you who don't,
you don't have to say CDI because it's an exclusive.
That's fine. Doesn't change the fucking fact that I'm talking about the CDI, and I keep bringing that up because most of you are probably like, "What the hell is a CDI?" That's a good question. You should Google it. It's a terrible system, which I've already said, and Jim would not deny. So my first thought, okay, it's a terrible system. Didn't make a ton of games. How many games total in that library?
I forget, because between like the actual games, the stuff that isn't considered a game, and all the edutainment stuff on there, because it's
100 to 200.
Yeah, I guess so. Probably 200ish.
And
let's say
that's
that.
probably being generous with all the rare, crazy bullshit that can be made. So I'm thinking, okay, Hotel Mario, the nerd, Angry Video Game Nerd, he made a really funny video, covered that, and some of the Zelda games. I know even then he said the Zelda games were expensive. He didn't mention the Mario game. So I was like, okay, Jim, like, what'd you spend? And right away...
Right, you're thinking of 2008 prices there.
He gave that face. So I said, okay, like, did you spend more than $30?
Woo!
Right away. Pissed off. So I'm like, okay, in my head, all right, well, he's not going to, like... I know Jim. He's not buying good new games. He's not willing to spend too much on terrible things because he could have had a... What's sad is he could have had a Vectrix for maybe a little more than what he paid for this.
I had to pay like $300 for that.
It wasn't that much.
Just for the system.
Not when we were at that thing. It was $150.
No, it was like $250.
No.
Yeah.
So I say, did you pay
the turbo CD was like $150 alone.
Can we get back to this?
I'm just saying. I'm making corrections here.
Listen.
I'm a man of facts.
You're wrong in the end, so shut the fuck up. I'm the judge. You're sitting there as the defendant. Don't fucking interrupt. All right? So I say, do you pay $50? Because we're going through Resident Evil month. Jim hasn't yet bought Resident Evil 2 Remake. And surely he's not going to pay the same amount that you would pay for a brand new Xbox One, PS4, PC, whatever the fuck game that you would for a shitty game on a shitty system that nobody cares about. And sure enough, he goes, nope.
Nope.
So at this point, I'm just furious. And Jim, why don't you tell him, what was your detail or what was your little hint as to how much it cost?
I said it rhymes with P-boat.
Which right away pissed me off because I don't even know what the fuck he's talking about. He probably heard on a terrible podcast or radio show.
Actually, no, I did not. All up here.
Which pisses me off more because then it's an original terrible thought. So I don't know. I just said, Jim, I don't know what you're talking about. So he says, C note. If you don't know, that's $100 goddamn for a game on a system nobody cares about, I don't care what you say, it is not. It can't even hold up to the top 100 NES games.
Yeah.
And
Top 100.
it's certainly, if you lined it up against Super Mario games, it's not even. It's dead last. I don't care what game.
Oh, it is not dead last.
What's worse, off the top of your head, that you've actually played?
Mario's Missing.
It's better. Never played it. It's better.
It's a fucking cock.
And you know what, Jim? Now that I've expressed some of my anger about Jim's terrible decisions, why don't you explain what do you do in that game, Jim?
Well, Brian, for those of you out there who do not know, in Mario's Missing, you are doing what you always do, trying to save Princess Peach from Bowser. But to do that, you have to go through a series of hotels, hence the name of the game. So you go from floor to floor, closing doors.
Oh, so you're jumping on Goombas, you're fighting bosses.
Koopas, there's caterpillar guys.
You're actually fighting them, huh? So you get the power-ups, you get Tanuki
You
suit.
you get power-ups. You get you get a mushroom, which gives you an extra hit of life, much like the super mushroom.
So you grow bigger, right?
No, you just kind of blink.
Oh, okay. So it fails there. Okay, so you get the flame, right? Because that's really an important one. That's
I haven't gotten that far yet because it's actually a very challenging game.
But do you get the flame?
I couldn't tell you yet. I'm working my way up.
So you don't get the flame. Okay. So there's clearly the soundtrack's on par with the original 3 Marios, right?
Not exactly.
Okay. Huh. So the levels are so crazily varied. Like there's like tons of variety because certainly
you get 70 levels in the game, Brian.
Sure, and I'm sure all the doors and all the hotels are just so different. And
you get 7 main ones with 10 levels each.
Okay, so they all play super different.
I haven't even got past the first one yet.
I'm not shocked.
Hard game.
Yeah, I'm sure it's not. But
you play it then, because we are going to play it.
Oh, we are going to. Oh, don't you worry.
We are going to play it.
We are going to play it.
I have plans.
And here's the deal. Take your bullshit collecting. If there was a blank checkbook and you never knew nothing about this game.
Double negative. Good grammar.
Yeah, exactly. You don't know anything about this game.
Okay.
What are you willing to pay now that you've played it?
If I didn't know if I did not know anything about the game, why would I even buy it?
That's a good question, Jim. Why would you buy it?
Because
there's other games that you need to play, right, Jim?
I mean, there's games that have to be played. And everyone has games they have to play.
Looking at just footage that you've seen of Resident Evil 2 Remake, do you think there's any chance that this game is as good as that?
Brian, why would I ever buy a game new these days when within a month or two it'll be at the very least half off, if not more, by that point?
That's a great question.
Anyone who buys a brand new game this day and age is a sucker. So if you want to be a sucker, you can go ahead and be the sucker that you want to be.
So would you say you're as much of a sucker as somebody who buys a game that's 20 years old on a system nobody cares about, that barely works, and it's terrible?
Look,
that
Brian,
pays
the market determines the price. The market determines the price.
Yeah, but does that mean that's a good game? Because that's all that should matter.
It is actually surprisingly fun.
Get the fuck out of here.
It's fun.
Because you are the type of guy, and we've covered this.
Look, I would never pay $400 for the Zelda CDI games. That can go fuck itself.
Cut to 5 years later. Jim, what'd you buy? Well, Brian, I got it for $350. It was a real good deal. Bleh.
Bleh.
So here's my question, Jim. We've established you're an irresponsible collector. We've established that you collect for irrelevant systems that nobody cares about, but there's a very niche market, so prices are high on games you like. Or not even
only the games that people would actually want.
Exactly. And this
is one of those games that people want.
And they only want it because it's rare, because, and arguably, Nerd reviewed it, it's gotten value from him. So, from an actual game standpoint, you've already admitted, it ain't worth it. And you're not the type that is going to turn around and make a profit on it. And you sure as shit don't care about game preservation. So at the end of the day...
If I didn't care about game preservation, Brian, why would I have walls full of useless, outdated plastic? If anything, I'm a museumist guy.
This is all why it's called Jim's Terrible Decisions. Because you are there's a term for it, and I'm kicking myself in the ass for not remembering it.
That's a good term.
But you are a shelf collector. That's what it is. You don't play all your games.
I do play my games.
No, you don't play
I don't beat them. Jim, I do play them.
We are going to start we're going to relook at the Excel file, and we're going to analyze. And I'm saying you need to beat. I want to see how many of your games you've actually beat that you own.
Who has the time to beat all these games?
Why own games unless you're going to play them?
How many of the games on your Xbox that you've downloaded with sales and shit have you beaten?
You're absolutely right. But is it on a shelf? And did I pay $100 for them, or did I pay $5?
Well, who's to say I pay $100 for all the games I buy, though?
We're talking about
real cases. We're talking real cases.
You know, that equates...
Wouldn't that not mean that I would have more of an incentive to keep playing through to get better through it, to beat the game, to get all the footage for the review that we're going to do for the video that I'm going to make you do on this video?
Let's put it this way. You realize that for $100, I got games like Witcher 3, BioShock 2, and add 18 other titles to that 20-game list.
You have 2 kids. You will never get through Witcher 3.
I have 2 kids, and I still get through more games than you because I'm allowed to. Because I got my balls.
Because you don't go to work.
Because I got balls.
Balls. Okay. Okay.
Some of us are allowed. Some of us
okay.
aren't.
Yeah.
So, at the end of the day, in Jim's Terrible Decisions, which will be a recurring bit, because there's plenty of options I could choose from, when we play this game, and we realize just how terrible it is. And when it's not terrible. And when I do better than you at it, which is really going to chap your ass. How about, you know what? Maybe we'll need to make a contest out of this.
Okay.
I'm formulating something.
Oh, great.
I'm not going to just try and drop it right here. Maybe there'll be a little challenge when we play that game and the ownership of that game.
No, it's not happening.
We'll see. We'll see what the fans. Maybe we get some Patreons that want to put $10 a month up. Maybe if we get like $10 a month Patreons, maybe you can agree that you'll let me put that disc or that whole new game you got in a barrel of 10 tonight and blow it up on video for our fans. Maybe you'll let that happen. That's something you shoot to explode. In case you didn't know.
Yeah.
If we get $10 things, that's happening.
That's happening? Mm-hmm. That's happening there?
That's right.
Okay. Yeah,
so,
that's what's going to happen.
If 10 of you want to do that, we'll make it happen. Jim's getting a little nervous because he thinks, fuck, will people actually do that?
Motherfucker, you would have to leave your house first.
Don't you dare talk about that. We'll call the boss, all right? See if you're allowed.
Fine, I'd be allowed out.
So, in Jim's Terrible Decisions, I want to hear what you guys think. Is Hotel Mario, outside of what the market demands for it, is it a good game? Has anyone out there played it? Has anyone even played a CDI game? That's what I really want to know. Because it all boils down to, if Jim had Resident Evil 2 Remake, I wouldn't be as mad as I am right now. And I know there's going to be
I can't wait to buy for $20 new in a month.
There's going to be at least 6 more purchases.
I will gladly buy it for $20 new in a month.
6 more purchases is my guess of things he'll buy between now and then, of just games that are awful. Just like Hotel Mario.
Not an awful game. Surprisingly good. I was surprised.
Well, we'll see what the
I just bought it for a bit for the site, and then I was like, oh, this is actually pretty fun. Way more fun than I expected.
We'll see what the scores reveal, Jim. Won't we?
You're going to sabotage it on purpose, like you always do.
I've never sabotaged a game on purpose.
Bull.
Unlike some people, I can be unbiased.
I did it once.
You did it multiple.
I did it once.
This one's going against the Genesis version, and I have to say, Jim, you scored this game this way, and its sequel this one. Oh, well.
I did it. I will admit that I did it with Simpsons Hit and Run.
You did it many times, Jim.
Incorrect.
Many, many times.
Incorrect. Calls it how I sees it.
So, if you guys have any
thoughts, here's even the better thing. I never once said the game is worth its money. I'm saying market dictates.
So what you're saying is you admit that was a terrible decision, hence the bet.
No, I admit it'll be a great decision for our lovely fans out there who will love to not only see your reactions to said game, but to see a game so notorious to be talked about.
So Daddy was right?
Huh. Of course not.
That's crazy.
It'll be worth it in the long run.
So
when it shoots, Brian, to the top of our most viewed videos lists,
How about this?
You'll be thanking me.
How about we make a bet? If that video alone can get 1,000 views within
How fast?
6 months, then I will, from this point
None
forward,
of our videos get that
this
anymore.
point forward, I'll say Jim is a genius and he has no terrible ideas, and I was absolutely wrong. But if it doesn't, Jim has to admit he's a blood and that he makes terrible decisions, and that Daddy's always right.
See, I could have gone
You
along
said
with
it was all worth it. You said it was all worth it, Jim.
It will be worth it.
So why don't you admit to the 6 months? That's pretty solid.
Give it a year. It takes our videos at least a year to kick off. It's taking some of our best ones 2 years to kick off. 3 years.
Some would say we're growing like hotcakes.
We were on a good run there. We were on a run where, like, every day, which for us is amazing, where we're getting like 5 to 6 subs a day. And then the last, like, couple days have been like 2 or 3. If that.
So here's my question. Why don't you just say you'll accept the bet? Or are you scared that the showstopper...
Jesus Christ.
Are you scared that the showstopper will just win again? Now, there are multiple reasons for these glasses, Jim, other than the fact that I'm the showstopper.
I'm sure.
Would you like to know one of them?
Let me hear it.
Future's too bright. Gotta wear shades.
What? I'm sorry, my own page. You can keep this. Buy me out. Give me half of our YouTube bank. Buy me out. I'm done.
So let us know what you think. Don't worry, there'll be plenty of other Jim's terrible decision bets in the future.
I actually did on this subject. I do have a month kind of planned where
I can't wait.
I'm going to do a bunch of games that you're just going to be hooting and hollering about.
I can't wait, Jim. I can't wait.